What's up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be doing a little bit of a review on the Presonus 1824C audio interface. But before I get into that, please subscribe and hit the bell for future notifications. So this is the Presonus 1824C interface. As you can see, it's really decent interface. So if you guys were wondering in the past what I've been using, I have been using the Scarlett 8920 for a while, but now I'm using the Presonus 1824C. I like it because one of the main things that it gives me is a higher gain range. So I get an 80 dB gain range on the mic pres, okay, which I think is really good. So it will start at minus 15 up to 65 dB. So with that said, you can use you can possibly use a I think it's the SM7B without the cloud lift on this interface. But if you do need a cloud lift, then get it. It's gonna improve it. Yeah. So basically, we got all 8 channels, independent volume knobs on the front, and then we've got channel 1 and 2. So these are combi inputs, right? So you get the mic pre, and when you put or insert your jacks into the center of them, you will then be using your line in, so it will bypass the mic pre. Okay, so that's obviously for your instrument usage and that. And by the way, the mic impedance on the mic pres are 1400, and the impedance on the line ins, which we would call inserts, are I think 10,000, which will be 10k ohms. So with that said, yeah, there's a significant difference in the impedance between the two. So here you get your volume knob, and then you also have 2 headphone outs and your on and off button, which is really nice. It doesn't feel plasticky. It's a very nice like high quality feel, and the knobs doesn't play around at all, which is what I like. Everything is solid and sturdy. You don't need to be worried about what you're getting. You're getting a solid, decent, and I think a lot of pro guys use this unit as well. And I mean, if you buy it, you'll get Studio 1.5 artists with it free. On its own, here in South Africa, it will cost you about 2,000 Rand if you're buying it online. And then obviously you get your LED lights in the front. So it will basically show you, let's say, because I do drum, so if I have the interface like directly across me. So if I set my gain for my kick, let's say I set it dead center on 1, and then I'll kick, and I'll monitor on channel 1 how high it goes, because sometimes during the song you might be punching it a bit more on the kick, so you might clip. So this will help you monitor, and before doing your actual recording, set your gain on your mic pres where you need it to be without having to re-record because it clipped, with some interfaces that obviously don't have these LED monitoring lights. And then you got your main out as well, that you can monitor as well. So there as well you can check and make sure that if you are playing something that it's not clipping. So I mean, we all know when it clips, it's not going to sound good at all. And then you obviously got your mute, you got your mono. You'll be switching between listening to mono or stereo, and then you got your line. If you're using 1 and 2 here, you just hit your line, and then obviously got your phantom power if you're using any condenser mics. Like with me on 7 and 8, that's where I use my condenser overheads. Okay, and those I put pretty low. I put them, let's say 10 to 12. Because when I do record, I don't want the kick, the toms and the snare to pick up too much, because I generally want my cymbals to come through on the overheads mostly, and it helps me in terms of my mixing, of how I mix my tracks. And then at the back we'll have think here's, so you get your left and right main output, you get your split of in and out as well. You'll have 8 TRS balanced line outputs as well, which is cool. So if you're running, like with me, I'm running into a headphone amp, which would require me to have extra outputs. And if you can just see over there, so these will be your inputs over here, and then your bank of outputs, and that's your main outputs over here. Okay, so my main outputs will go to my monitors, all right, and then I will take 1 and 2 and go with that into the headphone amp. So if you are monitoring through other speakers, or you need to you have maybe a whole band and each of them have their own headphone amp, you can run out of this to the headphone amp. So you can do, depending on the headphone amp as well, some headphone amps can accommodate a nice stereo, how can I say, sound, and some will just be a simple, like one of the, so it's just one jack input and then obviously your outputs. With this one I run 1 and 2 into the headphone amp, and then I can control both inputs like through my monitor, so it gives me a broader acoustic sound, or stereo sound, which is what I like. And you also have your clock out as well, then you got your ADAT in and out as well, which is also very important. So if you are extending, you can get a interface. I think the quantum, you can link up with this to have another 8 inputs if you want. And then also the MIDI in and outs as well, which is very important for a lot of people still, if they're using MIDI controllers and things like that, or even some synthesizers. Yeah, then by the way, there was so much for me to memorize on this. I actually printed out some of the technical specifications, because it's a lot of information. What I wanted to speak about is the let me see, where is that? So your line input impedance, right, will be at 10K. Your instrument inputs will be at 1,000 ohms. Okay, so bear in mind that there's different mic impedance or different impedance that you'll be working with, depending on how you'll be using the interface and what input selection. Right, so obviously we know the frequency response is 20 to 20 kilohertz, and then the nice thing is the dynamic range on the mics are sitting at 110 dB A weighted. They're at minimum gain, so that is pretty sweet. I enjoy using this interface. I feel that even though it's a bit more expensive than the Scarlett, it is by far for me the best on the market right now. It is sitting here in South Africa at 17,300 retail, but if you are looking for a sweet deal, you can hit me up on Instagram at Zolpex Drumming, and then we can work out a solid deal, or you can come in and see me at Paul Bottom Music and Claremont, and then I can still work out a good deal for you in store. Yeah, so very good interface all around, very, very nice and clean, and it's a low noise mic pre's. And I think these are the X-Max, the X-Max mic pre's that they're using here, which are really, really good. And just so by the way, you don't just get Studio One 5 artists alone. There's a whole lot of other software that you get with it for free as well. And I think you also get a demo version of Melodyne. So if you're doing a lot of vocals and you need to edit your vocals, Melodyne will help you with that. So yeah, I think I'll end the video right there. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and like I said in the beginning of the video, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for future notifications. And yeah, if you want to come and check everything out at the store I work at, like I said, Paul Bottom Music in Claremont, come and check it out. I've got some awesome gear in stock. So Yeah, thank you very much and God bless.